On the front porch in a small village in the country of Ghana, a wild prophet of a man told me my dreams were going to die. Welcome to Wild Songs, a creative space for the curious misfits. I'm your host, Kyle, and I'm so excited you're coming along this journey with me. I have to say, before we get to this episode, what an incredible response I've gotten from the first song I shared. People texting, sending messages, saying how it kind of opened something in them creatively. Like, I heard from a lot of artists that it just unlocked them and gave them permission to create in a new way. So thank you, really. Thank you for taking the time to drink from this well. I do want to share one comment real quick. We have some dear friends in the Ukraine, and they listened to this podcast and sent this message, and I just have to read it for you guys. Thank you, Kyle. The song is amazing. We listened to it last night from our room overlooking our neighborhood in Ukraine. I hope you know how powerful it is to proclaim these lyrics and feel the power of the music over a land that is being ravaged by war. It breaks into the chaos and brings the anchor of God's truth in a troubled time. Worship makes sense of all this nonsense, even now, as the air alarms signal the end of this morning's missile attack. I'm so grateful to get to worship to this as I intercede over my city. Wow. For me, that just lights me up. I don't care if this podcast has a ton of views or care if my song generates, buzz. I want it to light people up and be meaningful to them in their day, just like for our friends who are serving in Ukraine. So with that said, last week I shared my most inaccessible song, and this week I want to share one that is pretty accessible, and I think most of us understand, when our hearts get broken, when our dreams fall apart, when things aren't working right, that ache, that longing that we're talking about. We're going to explore an angle of that ache in this episode, which is when it feels like your dream is dead. So let's dive in. Songs can come in any time. You just have to be open and ready for them. This song came one day as I was teaching at school. On the original voice memo, you can hear the students come into the classroom right before class was starting. And I was sitting on the piano noodling around, and all three parts, verse, chorus, bridge, boom, boom, just came in together real time, probably about 4 minutes. So I quickly pulled up my phone, captured it on the piano before I forgot, while my students waited. Check this out right at the end.
Do we have class now?
Yes, sorry, I just had an idea. Yes, Martha, we do have class, but there is something here far more important. Well, this song has brought many people to tears, and it's deep and moving. It started from a place where I'm not emotionally engaged or trying to write. I'm just noodling around, just playing around. Now, fast forward a couple months later, and I was able to sit down with it and fill in the lyrics. And this is always one of my favorite parts of songwriting, when the music already feels like it has something special to it. There's magic, but the lyrics bring it to a whole other level. This is where you sit and allow the song to speak to you. See, 4 years before this, I was in Africa doing a final project for my master's degree where I was studying prophetic music, and I was telling a national leader in Ghana about my dreams for music and songs and the things God's called me to. And he looked me right in the eyes and said, when your dream is lost and dead and feels like it won't ever work, that's when you'll know, Kyle, it's for real, that your dream will actually happen. And sure enough, less than a year later, that word came to pass real hard. My life hit some major disappointments and hurdles that weren't in my control. My closest friend, the one I dreamed with, the one I did music with, went off the deep end. And man, everything you're working towards creatively, musically, this vision for life, feels like it's crumbling apart. And for the first time, my dream was dying. Now, I'm sure that you've had your own set of disappointments and failures and heartbreak and mourning. And do you know how to accurately capture that in your music? Do you find yourself able to put the broken pieces together in 4 or 5 minutes where somehow, some way, you can truly show a deep part of you to others? That showing yourself to others, that vulnerability, it's not always easy. I've learned for myself that I've got to develop that. Just like a muscle in a gym. It's not always fun when you're working out, but it's important for your health. So I was sitting in the car on a rainy day with one of my songwriting students. She used to sit in that same class, and she was visiting from Nashville. Just incredible person, incredible talent. And I just finished the production for the song, Straight as an Arrow. I hadn't released the song yet, but I said, hey, can I show you something I've been working on? And what was special about that moment was, she always saw me as this positive, joyful, bright personality, but I was able to show another side of me, and a part that's harder to say with words, but it's just as important. That's the ache. Remember, the focus of the entire first season is what I call the ache, the longings, the yearnings, the continual dying to yourself and hungering for something beyond you. This song was a way for me to process and even grieve the dreams and desires that I had that feel dead or gone. And yet in that ache, in that pain, in the mess is right where you find Christ, right where the revelation happens, right where the light bulbs go off. It's often when it feels least likely to happen that you get a chance to perhaps see things in a new light. And that's the revelation. And for songwriters, man, when you get that revelation, when you get that on a song, you've poured yourself into something, and then you realize, man, there's something way deeper happening that's trying to reveal itself to you. Man, that can change your life. So in this song, the revelation was the concept of the arrow being pulled back. When the arrow's pulled back the furthest, then it's finally ready to be launched and released. And this is the favorite part of my songs, but it's probably the least favorite in my life, right? The stretching. It's this concept that often for us to launch forward, the archer has to stretch us back. It's almost like we're going exactly opposite of where we should be going. It's like, this can't be right. And it's actually because of this tension of moving backwards, of being pulled, of being tested, that we can actually reach our target. I mean, when you think of it that way, anything less, any half-pulled arrow or part of our character that's unstretched, it's pointless. It just falls right to the ground. Now, here's where I put a play on the words. You'll hear in the bridge where I say, rest on the weight of a warrior's bow. And that weight is that tension, that heaviness that's being tested, but it's also resting while we wait. We rest in the waiting, being patient and mature enough to wait till the archer is ready to release us, not when we want to go. Now, just for fun, another little lyrical geek out for a minute. Another breakthrough came for me right before this part, where I not only say that my mother would raise me straight as an arrow, that's the title of the song, and I mean that as in, my mom raised me in a really solid way, not overbearing, but she raised me in a way that I would stay on course. But she also named me Kyle, which means a straight or a narrow. It's basically a thin passage of water that connects two larger bodies of water. And so I kind of discovered a little bit about me in this. It's both. I'm heading in life as straight as an arrow, but I'm also me, Kyle. And that's actually shaped my identity in the past couple of years, where, you ever find yourself in the middle of two different things, right? Like two competing bodies of water, whether it's political left or right, or believers or unbelievers, or creative side versus the logical side. In fact, the school that I wrote this song at is a famous art school called Interlochen, which means between the lakes. It's a narrow strip of land between the lakes. And I felt like my life, the last decade, I've been in between vastly different perspectives and different worldviews, different pursuits. And God's helped me navigate that. And so you put all that together and you learn to rest in it, to rest in the tension, to embrace the tension, embrace the narrowness. Jesus said the path to destruction is wide and it's easy. It's like, that's the easy way to live if you want to just go after your own thing. But the path that leads to life, man, it's narrow, it's tight, it's hard. And I hope I'm learning to enjoy the struggle, to enjoy the pressure, the waiting, the pain, the narrowness of it. So I want to encourage you as an artist, to open yourself and exploring that ache and expressing that in your music. You're going to find that those kind of songs will define you. I know it's certainly defined me. And hopefully this song can make sense of your identity and lead you to a place where you can, rest in the tension. But it's not the tension of being alone or being lost. It's the beautiful tension of being held in a mighty grip, the grip of the archer. So I want to invite you right now into a new space. Put your headphones on, silence your phone, put away competing distractions. Put this on widescreen so you can soak in the lyrics and look at them and be nourished. Unless you're driving, don't do it then. And as always, I'm extremely grateful that you're drinking this in, and I pray it touches you as it has touched me. Blessings.
Mother, mother, I am a broken man. All your prayers have not come home. Did you wonder if I could settle down? With 16 years built on these hopes. When I was younger, I heard the prophet man. Son, you'll shake this culture, whoa. And in the porch light, a wild prophet spoke. When it's dead, you will know that word is surely gold. Do you feel the pain of a dream that's gone? Do you feel the pain of a dream that's gone? Feel the pain of a dream that's gone. Do you feel the pain of a fire that burns in my bones? California, she's for another man. A cigarette I wouldn't smoke. Drove the coast with my better half. Vagabonds with pilgrim souls. Do you feel the pain of a dream that's gone? Dream that's gone. Feel the pain of a dream that's gone. Dream that's gone. Feel the pain of a dream that's gone. Dream that's gone. Feel the pain of a fire that burns in my bones. My mother said she would name me, said she would raise me straight as an arrow. My God, he said he would test me, stretch me to rest on the weight of a warrior's bow. My mother said she would name me, said she would raise